Hi, my name is Gail Pruden, and my treaty is in Fairford, but I was brought up in a reserve called Little Saskatchewan. At that time, there's only a population of maybe 500. And there was no base gender, like there was no female, there was no male, because we all dressed the same. So it was really a relaxed atmosphere as growing up to be who I am today as being two-spirited. We were in touch with creation itself, like we were right in the midst of creation. And being brought up in such a beautiful, loving way of no restriction was so natural. Like we were able to live with a full open heart, and that's where we learned our humbleness to respect and love everybody.
As a two-spirit individual is I walk on the land and I walk in harmony with all that's around me. We're not the only species that walk with two spirits. When it comes to being two-spirited in our relatives, the animals, the plants, and that, is that they're way advanced compared to us. We still have to either procreate as male and female, or we can go and get artificial insemination, but we can't procreate on our own. When we look at the whole scope of creation and two-spirit individuals as compared to our relatives who have always been two-spirited in some ways, that we have a lot to learn. We have a lot to learn.
Hey folks, this is Kat from the Aki Centre. I'm here to talk to you guys about atypical reproduction and atypical gender in the plant world. So most of our tall grass prairie plants actually have male and female reproductive parts. Something that's cool about these plants is often they can do asexual reproduction, which means that they produce new plant babies with themselves. So some examples of plants that carry both these parts would be sage, sweetgrass, strawberries, sunchokes, cordgrass, big blue stem, mint. All of these are plants that you'll find in our tall grass prairie. What's neat about it is when you can have asexual reproduction, it allows for diversity in a space. And that diversity is actually essential for the plant's survival. Similar to a Three Sisters garden where you have the corn, you have the squash, and you have the beans all working together. The squash providing ground coverage, the beans bringing nutrients to the plants, and the corn providing shade as well as a stalk for the bean to climb. Similarly, in our tall grass prairie plants, we have plants that love to work together. And this obviously has strong connections to our community. If we were all the same person, we would not get anywhere in terms of innovation and new thinking and new perspective. It's that diversity that allows our community to thrive, and I see that mirrored everywhere in the plant world.
Hi everyone, I'm Alex and we're here at the Aki Centre. We're in our greenhouse where we have our worm composting bed. So in here we've got red regular worms, and they are a species of worm that are especially good for composting. And the cool thing about them is that they are both male and female. And so to reproduce, they just need to find one other worm to love, or they can even reproduce with themselves. So, they live in here, in the ground, and we feed them scrap food and fruits and vegetables, and kids can come and learn about worms and gender and decomposition.
So finally, one of the most fascinating examples of breaking the binary that we see in nature here at the Aki Centre is with our mallard ducks. So there's a phenomenon that happens with male mallard ducks called eclipse plumage, where after their 4 to 5 month mating period, so typically in the fall, they'll shed their male plumage and reveal an undercoat that's brown and resembles the female plumage. All this to say, we see non-binary and we see not atypical sexual representation and reproduction throughout the natural world. And I think the most important takeaway from that is it's natural to be fluid in this world. Binary systems are what's unnatural. So I think we need to take from that example of the natural world and embrace diversity and embrace fluidity.
go out and sit with the land and learn from it. Sit with the trees and listen to what they have to say. Sit and listen to every plant that there is, and how our little relatives that move, the bees, they come and visit them all. As Two-Spirit people, it's been said by our elders that we are the ones that are going to wake up the world and bring about change. And I believe that.
Because in the words of that song it says, Erigo kogu ake, bisinausin, bisinausin. Erigo kogu ake, bisinausin, bisinausin. And the meaning in those words is the whole, Erigo kog, oake, of this earth. Bisinausin, and I'm rattling, shaking, echoing. That's my jingle dress. And that was set as a child in the garden.